Grace and peace and grand rising peeps. I'm supposed to be playing tennis, but of course, I got an itch I need to scratch and a message I need to get out. So here I am. All right, so on my way here, I started channeling in the energy of beauty standards. I walked past a few young ladies. They had on these wigs, and the wigs was done up to the nine. Y'all know what y'all do, right? Edges on fleek. I don't know if they was glued down because I don't know that much. I've never worn a wig before, but it looked good. And at the bus stop, I saw an older woman and she had on a nice ginger wig herself. I think she was going to church. Amen. And that was when I started to get a message on beauty standards. And it went in the direction of how we as feminines have no idea how much these beauty standards that are being pushed on us and that we are portraying and living in have disrupted our connection to our divinity. And I mean in big ways. I was channeling makeup first, and the information I was getting on makeup was how makeup originated, at least on our end, because in Asia they wore it as geishas. But again, that wasn't you. You were wearing a mask on purpose. You were becoming a different person when you put the makeup on your face. So it protected who you truly was. But in Eastern society, it was men who wore makeup when they would put on performances. And at the time, women weren't allowed to be in theater. So men would wear makeup and dress as women to be in theater. And what I was channeling on this was, during that time, it wasn't defined sexual orientations. But apparently when a man would wear makeup, it made him more appealing to other men. Bug touched me. And it was that appeal that led to women starting to put makeup on themselves, feeling like they needed to compete for the beauty standard. So that was the first one. I got here and I got 2 more channeled messages. Now, as far as the wigs, it's a big deal, but we're going to go into that one last because that's more nuanced. The second one I got was corsets and these body shapers that came up. And what came up for me was how that disrupts proper breath work, that you are unable to breathe untainted. You are unable to take full, rounded, 4-count breaths when you have these things on. Now, the standard was pushed that smaller ways, a more Coke bottle frame was more appealing. But really, it's not even true. Where we've adopted that is what looks more appealing. The truth is, real men actually like women who are a little bit more pudgy. Go figure, right? Only because that pudge in certain areas actually signals to their brain, whether they know it or not, because they may like looking at the Coke bottle aspect of a feminine, but when it is unnatural, it in the mind signals barrenness. So that pudge, especially in the sacral area, the fupa, it signals fertility. That is mothering energy. That's nurturing energy. Now, us not living as if that is a beauty standard, it steals it from us. Because you're chasing a look that you have naturally and looking to change who you are to fit a standard you don't need. Now, like I said, the last one I had was the wigs. Wigs are especially dangerous to a feminine because it covers her crown. It does not allow your crown to breathe. there is something said about wearing either synthetic hair on your head or hair that is not your own on your head, apparently. And I mean full coverage, like you have a cap. Because I didn't hear anything about braided styles or anything. It was more so the wigs that came up. It does not allow your hair or your crown to receive sunlight and for you to properly receive information from your higher self and divinity. So it disrupts that connection. Your intuition is off when you heavily rely on that being a factor in your life. If every day you go out and the first thing you do is you put on a wig, you aren't connecting to source. All of these beauty standards are causing a serious disconnect. Now, since that is the case, you got to wonder where they all came from, right? Why is it like that? Another one that came up was sexual promiscuity. And this one came up because it was pushed at a time that a feminine needed to be in competition with other feminines. So they would compete for a masculine energy. Now, at one time, there was nothing to compete for because there were enough masculines here. When we went through the Great Depression time, things like that, wars, we lost a lot of men. And the women who didn't have a masculine or lost their masculines were made to feel less than. They were made to feel unwanted, even though that wasn't the case. And of course, it was masculine energies that began to do that, saying, oh, wow, since you don't have anything, you should just allow me to take what you got because now somebody wants you. But then it was other feminines that did it to them too. They were pushed to feel like they could make these women feel less than, and that made them more powerful. All of these standards have changed where we are. We are consistently in a perpetual cycle of not understanding ourselves because we're not connected anymore. So, evaluate where you are on your beauty standards. What matters to you? When you put on a full face of makeup, you are covering up your third eye. You don't see clearly. When you put on a wig, you're covering up your crown. You're not getting the information you need. Breath work is key to healing the chakras and healing the body. So if you're wearing body shapers and you're not connected, how can you limit the things that are stopping you from being connected so that you can begin to step into divinity? Because I promise you that once you do, you'll be able to fall in love with who you are again. And I mean in all of your glory. If the reason why you're wearing wigs is because your hair, you're not comfortable wearing your hair out, after a while you'll realize you got what you got. If you take care of it, it works well. Same thing goes with your body. If you don't like the way your shape looks, or you feel like it's the only thing that makes you desirable, start a fitness journey. It's there for you, and there's love in that. As far as face, take care of your skin. You'll never have to put on makeup. All of these are the solutions to the problem. The solution is self-care always. Always. And if a man can't want you for who you are naturally, as you are, maybe he doesn't deserve you. But the question is, do you deserve you? And do you like who you are naturally? When that answer becomes yes, life starts changing. All right, I'm going to go play some tennis. Well, thank you for being here. Have a beautifully blessed day. Love and light, y'all. And peace.